guys, this is Mandy from Mandy Plays, and for today's video I'm going to start off with the quote from Miyamoto himself, and this quote is, "A delayed game is eventually good, a bad game is bad forever." So let's get started. So the reason I started with this quote is because it perfectly captures what I want to talk about in this discussion video, and that is should games be released the same year they're announced? Now this topic has a lot of different variables which I might do videos on in the future. Okay, I'm gonna go through each side and weigh the pros and cons. So I'm going to start with the games that are released the same year they are announced. And a good example of this is Fallout 4, I believe was announced the same year it was released. And that, was really something great because everyone was hyped up, they wanted to play, and that game was coming up that year, so everyone was so excited, so hyped. It does come with some negatives, like it doesn't garner that much hype for the game, and most importantly, there wasn't a lot of feedback from the gamers, so they couldn't really assess the trailers or other things about Fallout 4 because Bethesda already had it wrapped in a bow for us, so we couldn't really judge or give them proper feedback. So that's a huge negative, and especially in the gaming community, feedback from the consumers are very, very important to the game, to the overall hype, to the community. So that's something that should be taken into account when releasing a game the same year it's announced. Another example of a game that was announced within its year was Mario Odyssey. It left enough time from its announcement to the release for fans to speculate, to garner hype, and to get everyone on board on Mario Odyssey, and to, more importantly, buy Switches. So that's a good example of a nice smooth development cycle, and it's something that I think more developers should keep in mind and really think about. But oftentimes, even if the company or developer intended for the game to release within that year, it gets pulled back because of technical issues and other issues that need to be tweaked on before the game is released, and that I perfectly understand. I think most gamers understand that because a lot of people would rather have a finished game than a half-assed game. I'm looking at you, Final Fantasy 15. So there are certain variables that go into play into whether a game has a smooth development or stuck in development hell, and Square Enix is the most notorious development company out there that I think leaves their games into development hell. Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy 7 remake is slated to come out in 2023, I believe, which is outrageous because it's a remake, first of all. So with talking about Square Enix, we go to the other side of the coin, which is letting us know a game is in development way before it's supposed to be released. A good example is Metroid Prime 4, which we only got a little glimpse of the logo, and that's pretty much it. We don't know when the game's coming out, how it is in development, none of that stuff, but it did garner hype because we know that they are going to work on a Metroid 4 game. And that in itself could work a huge favor, especially with the communities where people make theories and videos on what they want to see, what they think they're going to see, and other people's input, and it sort of becomes, they're hyping it up. But there is a bad side to all that, and that is overhyping, which is very notorious in the gaming community, and people sometimes lose hype for the game if it's too long. So sometimes announcing your title way before it's released can sometimes backfire if you don't do it right. A game that did it right, in my opinion, is Octopath Traveler. It was announced, and then we had a demo that we could critique and give to the developers so they could tweak the game. That game I think, did a phenomenal job with its feedback, with giving the gamers a taste of what the game is about before, it's finished. And it lets the developers really tweak it to where they see it as a great game, and the consumers all agree. Well, that's something that I think a lot of gaming companies should strive for. Not necessarily a demo, maybe more trailers before the game is released. So let's say if you announce a game that's not going to be released in that year, make it work to your favor and give the players some teasers and trailers and listen to the feedback, so you have time to tweak it before it's released, and the fan base is not overhyping it to their expectations, or it loses hype because no one knows when it's coming out. And another thing that us gamers have to work on, especially myself, is patience. I've been guilty of a lot of things that are not patient, but I think we have to come to the conclusion that games are not factory made. They're not going to be made in like a week, that it does take time, but to the developers there is a thin line you're crossing, and if you do it right, like give us teases, be more transparent, communicate, a longer wait time isn't that bad, because we could see the game in development and we could see how it's doing, instead of just making up theories or speculations, because that always leads to overhype, and no one likes overhype. Overhype is always destined to be disappointed. I know that for a fact. And a company that does it right, in my opinion, is Nintendo. Their release schedule seems to be correspondent to their announcements, except for Breath of the Wild. That one took a little longer and it had a bit of a development hell, but it came out eventually. And now we have Super Smash Bros. That is slated to come out this year, and it was announced this year. And the rumored Pokemon game, which I don't know when it's released, but whatever. So with all that being said, this question is a loaded question. It's something with a lot of variables that I might cover in different videos, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you rather a game be announced early and it's in development but it takes longer, or would you rather it be announced the same year it's released? So let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a good like, and if you like videos like these and many more, please consider subscribing. I will appreciate it, and thank you. You can reach me on my Twitter at Mandy, my.opinion, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and play a good game. Bye.